This song has a lot of space. Greetings Wanderer, this is Atlas here and welcome to the Void. Today I'm going to be reacting and breaking down a song called The Meeting from the Demon Slayer KIMETSU no YAIBA original soundtrack. This is one of the coffee personal requests that I had scheduled for this month. And this one comes from Marijoa. And the comment says, "Hi, I would like Demon Slayer KIMETSU no YAIBA The Meeting by Go Shina." Alrighty then, straight to the point, I like it. Thank you very much Marijoa for your request and of course your incredible continuous support. Yeah, I'm not familiar with this at all. I do know that this is a manga and an anime too. There's an anime, obviously, I'm guessing based on the manga, but I have absolutely no idea what this is about or whatnot. So this is going to be 100%. I'm going 100% blind into this, right? So I'm really looking forward to it. But before we begin, I would like to invite you to listen to my latest track, which is a BERSERK inspired track called Conceived in Blood, which is actually the song that you have been listening in the background of the intro of this video. So if you like what you hear so far and you would like to hear the full song, I'm gonna leave it in this card right here, but also in the description of this video. And also please visit my merch shop where you can get one of these shirts. This is one of the colors that I have available. As you can see here, this design was actually also inspired by BERSERK and Dark Souls. So go and check that out. And with that being said, onward. Alright, this is going to be The Meeting from the Demon Slayer KIMETSU no YAIBA original soundtrack. Boom. I can hear a little bit of saturation in the bass line already. It's giving the sound a little bit of grit. I like the organ so much as an instrument. The sound is so good. Okay, it's building up to something. Quite a long build up. You have some martial arrangements in the snare. Has different time signatures. This song has a lot of space. Yeah, it's basically reusing the intro, where I can tell. What is that instrument that's doing that melody? Sounds like a xylophone layer with something else. Actually has a well, not really. It's kind of ambivalent resolution in there with that ending note. Okay, there we have it. All right. Yeah, this song has a lot of space. Like it has a long build up and then kind of gets to the climax of the song, and then it repeats the intro basically, or the build up that we hear in the beginning towards the end, and we have kind of an ambivalent, resolved and unresolved at the same time kind of ending with that note at the end in the solo voice. I am very curious into knowing what instrument was playing that melody, but I would have to noodle around a little bit on the guitar and figure the melody out a little bit and get a feel of it. But we're going to be talking more in depth about those things at the breakdown, so let's break it down. Okay, so in this first part of the breakdown, I would like to get my guitar, my acoustic guitar, and play it a little bit around the song, very much specifically around the, that melody that we hear that makes a little bit of a transition in between the sort of intro build up that we hear with a lot of space towards the sort of a climax of a song. Because that to me was the most interesting part of a song, actually, aside from, let's say, the organ arrangement and also that very minimalistic but very effective snare arrangement that there is spread out around the composition to give it a little bit of a martial edge and a little bit of conflict to the song. So I'm gonna get my acoustic guitar, apologies, and noodle around a little bit with it. Okay, so I've been noodling around a little bit with the guitar, and I think I got almost to a certain degree. I think it's the most accurate that I've come up with that melody that we hear. That I'm still not sure if it's played on a xylophone layer with something else, or it's just like it has a lot of reverb on it or whatnot. But it's certainly one of is the melody that catch my attention the most, and I think it's a very cool way to make the transitions in between the more spacious build of a song towards the climax, which is still very spacious, but has certainly a lot more energy imbued into it. So this is like what I came up with. All right, so there it is. I had a little bit of trouble playing it to. I think that's the tempo in which the melody is playing, but this arrangement sounds very intervallic. You know, I think that this comes from like a chord progression that is like C and A sharp, right? Yeah, a C, B, A sharp. Yeah, C and A sharp. Like no, wait. This is C, B, and A sharp. Right. So, yeah. There we have it, and then yeah, because listen to this. Or it could be like an intervallic sort of arrangement that it comes from this scale, but it sounds to me like it's more that comes more from the chord because of how the progression of the notes are done. But anyways. So yeah, in terms of the chord progression that happens in the song, I think it's fairly simple, at least in that part. You know, it's like I say a C and then A sharp, or it could be like here. All right, so there you have it. That melody is a little bit of a finger twister, let's say. You know, instead of a tongue twister, as a finger twister. It's kind of tricky to get the fingering right. No pun intended. But yeah, it's a very cool melody to play, and actually sounds pretty cool. All right, so let's talk about the rest of the song. All right. Like I said before, the song has a lot of space. You know, it has this long, swooning sections in the arrangement where you don't hear like a lot of articulations happening. It's just a lot of legato, arrangements in the strings and so on and so forth. We hear some additional instruments in the song as well. Obviously, some synthetic elements in the song too. Like, for example, I want to say that there's like 3 or 4 synthesizers involved in this track, but I'm not entirely sure. But certainly, we can hear like the saturated or distorted bass sound from the very get-go. And in addition to that, we also have like a counter melody in that regard too, when we hear that melody that I played before. Also, I think another arrangement that is very telling in the nature of this track is the very minimalistic but certainly very effective snare arrangements that are in the song, because those kind of arrangements in the snare sound very martial, and martial arrangements in songs always signal some sort of conflict, very much specifically, you know, military conflict. The clash of two factions going to war or something that is related to the topic. And of course, you can't have a really good story without a sort of conflict, right? So, like I said before, I don't know anything about Demon Slayer, but this certainly, I mean, the nature of this track certainly kind of tells a little bit of the story of that conflict. If it is either military or not, I don't know. But certainly the snare is a very common and effective use to give you that that part in the story, in a sort of a storytelling kind of way, right? Also, we have to take into account that the song is called The Meeting, right? So, you know what? The song also has this kind of briefing kind of feel to it. Like, okay, this is how I am picturing this myself, right? Obviously, this could be completely wrong, but this is like how I envision this part. Like, the song is called The Meeting. The song also has this little, very minimal martial element to it. So the meeting it could be something related to a kind of a planification of something or a strategic plan that is happening in the anime towards an action, you know, a mission or something like that. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a militaristic way in terms of huge armies, you know, clashing with each other, but more of a little group of warriors and whatnot, just sitting down, making strategic plans towards something greater. Because the song doesn't go full-blown militaristic way, you know, it like a super clash of armies and whatnot, and not even like a full-blown battle theme, let's say. But it does gives you like a sort of ambivalent ending with that note at the end. So it gives you like the feeling that that there's more that goes on after the song, you know. There's more to come. Like the song is trying to tell you a story, or apologies, let me rephrase that. The song is trying to tell you a part of a story, and obviously that note at the end is trying to tell you that this is just part of a story. And I can't say this enough, but it's incredible how one note, one arrangement, one little piece of a drum pattern, or a certain note in the brass section, or something very minuscule placed in the song can tell you so much about where the song is going, and so on and so forth, right? And in this case, it would be like that note at the end tells a lot about where the story carries on, you know what I mean? So yeah, probably my favorite part, of course, the organ arrangements and the melody that makes the transitions in between the long build-ups and the more higher energy sort of a climax of a song. Certainly were my favorite parts of the track. So I think I'm gonna give this a silver badge. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like and share it with your friend. Also, please don't forget to visit my Patreon, my Ko-fi profile, and my Ko-fi store in case you want to support my work further, and my Teespring merch shop. And of course, ex nihilo nihil fit.